מבוסס על סדרת ספרי זוהר לעם. ניתן
Lesson is based on a series of Zolt to everyone. You can download the books at cab.tv or order them at 1-700-509-209. We are reading What is a Lily Among the Thorns in the Work by Rabash. It can be found online at cab.tv, and you can ask questions there too, and selected questions will be asked during the lesson.
טוב, אנחנו ממשיכים כרגיל סדרת השיעורים שלנו לכבוד חג הפסח. ודאי שצריכים עוד יותר מהרגיל.
Okay, so we're continuing the usual lessons and preparation of Pesach, and we have to prepare ourselves because we're meant to prepare ourselves to truly leave Egypt. What is a lily among the thorns in the work? It is written in the Zohar, "As a lily among the thorns, so is my wife among the daughters." The Creator wished to make Israel similar to what is above, so there would be one lily in the earth that is like the lily above, which is Malchut. And a fragrant lily, finer than all the lilies in the world, is only one that grows among the thorns. This one smells as it should, which are 70 souls, and brought them among the thorns, which are the Egyptians. At that time, the lily blossomed among them. When the Creator wished to pick out the lily from among them, the thorns dried out and were thrown away and were corrupted until they were regarded as nothing. We should understand what it implies to us in the work when a person must be similar to the upper lily, and why specifically when one is among the thorns, he is regarded as more select and finer than the rest of the people. As it is written, "This is why 70 souls went down to Egypt so as to become finer." Baal Sulam said, "Why is Malchut called a lily?" It is because a person can assume the burden of the kingdom of heaven only by overcoming the will to receive in him. Since he comes and asks a person when he wants to work in order to bestow, meaning for the sake of the Creator and not for himself, "What is this work for you?" That is, what will you get out of wanting to work for the sake of the Creator? It is written in the Passover Haggadah, the answer is blunt his teeth. This means that we must argue with it, but blunt its teeth, meaning we have to overcome it by force. That is, when it comes with its questions, we must remember that it comes with these questions precisely when one wants to work in order to bestow. Then there is room to ask why. But when a person works in order to receive reward, this wicked one has nothing to ask. We must not reply or contemplate what to answer it. Instead, we must know that it is a waste of time to want to find answers to its questions. Rather, when it comes and asks, a person should immediately treat it with force and overcome it with force, and not by arguments. Since each time, even once a person has overcome it, it is still not impressed by it, and each time a person wants to do something for the sake of the Creator, it comes with its questions. There are numerous blunts its teeth here. This is why Malchut is called a lily. In other words, when a person wants to be rewarded with the kingdom of heaven, called faith, he must undergo a process of many blunt its teeth, which is why Malchut is called lily. He said that this is the meaning of to the victor on lilies, meaning that the victory comes specifically through lilies. According to the above, we can interpret the meaning of as a lily among the thorns, and why it is that specifically when she is among the thorns, she is finer than other lilies. We should know what thorns are in the work. In corporeality, the thorns prick the lily. But what does this imply in the work? It means that when the wicked comes and asks, "What is this work for you?" with these questions, it pricks man's thoughts and heart and makes a person suffer. As thorns prick in corporeality, so the questions prick the person. He suffers torments, meaning that these questions distance him from the work, since one cannot always overcome his questions, and he begins to see that he is declining from the Kedusha, since normally these questions come during an ascent, when a person understands that it is worthwhile to work in order to bestow. But suddenly, he comes with his questions, and one must overcome it. At that time, a person comes and asks for help from the Creator to help him, since he sees that by himself he cannot overcome it. Follows that he always needs heaven's mercy. As it is written in the Zohar, the help that comes from above is regarded as a soul that receives each time. This is regarded that the help he receives from above is light that gives one the power to overcome the evil in him. It was said about this, he who comes to purify is aided. By this, we can interpret the words as a lily among the thorns, and a lily that is more fragrant and finer than all the other lilies in the world is only one that grew among the thorns. In other words, because she is among the thorns, they prick her, meaning the kingdom of heaven. When a person takes upon himself to work in order to bestow, this is called a lily. At that time, the wicked comes with his questions of what is this for you, and pricks the kingdom of heaven in his heart. Each time, he must overcome and pray and ask for help. By this, the lily becomes fragrant, for fragrance is as it is written, and they smelled in the fair of the Creator, which is finer than all the lilies in the world, who have no thorns to prick them. Those lilies are not as fine as the lily that is among the thorns. This comes to teach us that one should not be alarmed when the wicked keeps coming to him and asks the question, "What is this work for you?" and he cannot overcome it. It is as one sometimes thinks that these thoughts come to him because he is unfit for the work of the Creator. On the contrary, the fact that the wicked comes to him is because from above they want to help him attain upper Kedusha. This is why he is given these disturbances, so as to have a need to ask for help. Therefore, when one sees that he is unfit by nature to be able to work in order to bestow, his work at that time is to increase his prayers to the Creator to help him from above, so he can work in order to bestow. Conversely, an ordinary lily, meaning other people who observe Torah and mitzvot, in order to receive reward, although this is also regarded as a lily, meaning that the body does not agree to observe Torah and mitzvot, even in order to receive, and it requires labor and effort, since we must believe in reward and punishment, to which the body objects. But because it is not against nature, since his work is for his own benefit, the lily in his heart, which is called Kingdom of Heaven, is not regarded as feeling that there are thorns that prick her. Therefore, although lo lishma is important thing, this is called a mere lily, since she does not suffer pricks from the thorns. Therefore, he has no need to pray to the Creator to help him overcome. Naturally, he also does not extend Kedusha from above, by which he will receive help from above. For this reason, he is called a mere lily. But a lily among the thorns is finer than all the other lilies in the world, because the pricks, meaning the sufferings she receives from the wicked, cause him to receive new powers from above each time, and by this his soul grows. This is why she is finer than all the lilies in the world. It follows that one should be careful not to say, when he sees the wicked always coming to him with questions called thorns, which prick the lily in his heart. He should not say that this is a sign that he is unworthy of this work of bestowal, because it is not for him, since he sees that he hasn't the strength to overcome the evil. Rather, one should believe that every person has the strength to work and achieve dvikut, adhesion, with the Creator. As our sages said, one should always see oneself as half guilty and half innocent. That is, according to the measure of the good within him, so is the measure of bad. Otherwise, a person cannot subdue the bad, as it is more than the good. We must believe in our sages, who said so, and it is so precisely so that one will be able to decide to the side of merit. Therefore, always, in whatever situation, the bad does not have more power than the good within him. This is why they said, if he performs one mitzvah, happy is he, for he has sentenced himself and a whole world to the side of merit. Accordingly, we should interpret what is written, the rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel. We should understand what this implies to us in the work. We must know that we were given the choice. As it is written, behold, I have set before you today life and good, and death and bad, and you shall choose life, so that you and your descendants will live. It is known that choice means that a person can decide which is better for him. This can be said when both are equal, and he does not know which to choose. At that time, we are given the commandment to choose. As our sages said, that one must see oneself as half guilty, half innocent, and then we can talk about choice. This means that one who sees that he is not succeeding in the work and wants to escape the campaign, since he sees that he cannot work for the sake of the Creator because he was born with worse qualities than others, and he also sees that he has a weak character and therefore hasn't the strength to overcome the evil in him. The text teaches us about this, that one has no more bad in him, but according to the measure of the good. In other words, if a person sees that he has a weak character or worse qualities than another person, he must know that the bad in him does not have more power than the good in him. They are ever equal, 50-50. Therefore, if he sees that one person has better qualities than his, he should not say that it is easier for him to work than for him, and this is why the other one is working. Rather, one should know that every person has bad according to the measure of the good that he has. Hence, if the other has better qualities, he also has worse qualities than the other, since the bad and the good are ever equal in strength. The verse says about this, "The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel, to give a donation to the Lord, to make atonement for your souls." The rich means that even if one is rich in knowledge and good qualities, he will not give more than half a shekel, because half means a lack, which one gives as a contribution to the Creator, so that he will satisfy his lack. As was said, that a prayer makes half. He cannot say that he gives more than a half by having good qualities, but rather precisely half, for the above reason that corresponding to the good that he has, he also has more bad than another person. It follows that one never gives more than half. Likewise, the poor shall not give less. This means that one who is poor in knowledge and in good attributes, and he prevails, and does not escape the campaign, the Creator helps him. He too should not say that he makes less efforts than another person, since he sees that he is poor in knowledge. Therefore, when the Creator helps him and brings him closer to him, he should not say that he has given less than half the forces of the work in order to overcome the bad in him. Rather, he too gave half, since the bad in him was also not so powerful that it was said that the filling was more than the lack of the forces in the bad. Rather, it is always 50-50. As it is written, the poor shall not give less than half a shekel. That is, the good and the bad are always equal. Therefore, a person cannot say that he is incapable of this work, since he should give more powers than others. Rather, a person never gives more than half a shekel. This is the meaning of what is written, to give a contribution to the Lord. That is, the contribution that one should give to the Creator is only half, meaning the lack that a person feels that the Creator will help give the filling. What is the filling? Answer. The filling is always that which a person needs. Hence, when one begins the work, he should obtain a lack for the Creator to help him have the desire to bestow, as this is the heart of the work to obtain this desire. It follows that half means the necessity for the matter, to feel how much he needs to obtain this desire, meaning to obtain suffering at not having the desire to bestow, to know the loss at not having the desire to bestow. To the extent that he knows what he is losing, to that extent he can feel how happy he would be if he had the desire to bestow. By this, he obtains half a thing, meaning the kli, vessel, for the Creator to satisfy his lack by giving him from above a second nature called desire to bestow. This is the meaning of what is written, half a shekel, to give a contribution to the Lord. In other words, a person should know that he can only give half, as in a prayer makes half. One must know that he cannot give a full shekel, which is light and kli, meaning the need for the desire to bestow, and to be able to do everything in order to bestow. Rather, the half a shekel belongs to man's work, to give only the deficiency, while the filling belongs to the Creator. This is the meaning of what is written, "Go give a contribution to the Lord, to make atonement for your souls." In other words, by giving a contribution to the Lord, which is the half, the Creator gives the other half, called desire to bestow, which is a second nature. And by this a person makes atonement for his soul, by being able to do everything for the sake of the Creator. Therefore, after one is rewarded with the Creator giving the desire to bestow, a person is rewarded with permanent faith, as it is written that we must be thankful to the Creator for rewarding us with nearing Him. This is as it is written, "Sing to God, kingdoms of the earth, sing praises to the Lord, Selah, to Him who rides upon the highest, ancient heavens. He will speak forth with His voice, a mighty voice." We should interpret that the kingdoms of the earth are those who have been rewarded with faith, called Malchut, and the quality of earth, sing to God. They should sing for the Creator, awarding them with the quality of faith. Also, Malchut is called God, as it is written, "Sing praises to the Lord, Selah, to Him who rides upon the highest ancient heavens. He will speak forth with His voice, a mighty voice." We should understand why they must sing to the Creator and thank Him. Does the Creator need flesh and blood to thank Him? The answer is that the created beings should know that all that they have is what the Creator gave them in order to thereby achieve the love of the Creator. Through the love of the Creator, they will always be in dvikut with the Creator, as it is written, that then they attain Him as doing good. And if they do not attain Him as doing good, then they must be under the governance of heresy, since it is a law that the creature cannot receive disclosed evil from Him, for it is a flaw in the glory of the Creator, for the creature to perceive Him as an evildoer, as it is unbecoming of the complete operator. This is the meaning of what is written, "He will speak forth with His voice, a mighty voice." In other words, the creatures must sing and thank Him for letting them hear the voice of the Creator. That is, by feeling that the Creator has given them the quality of Malchut, called permanent faith. By their feeling that it comes from the Creator, this adds to them the love of the Creator. As it is written, "He will speak forth with His voice." And what will He say with His voice? Answer, a mighty voice. The Radak interpreted that He will speak forth against the enemies with His voice, which is a mighty voice. It is known that in the work, the enemies are the will to receive, that awakens each time to receive in order to receive. They are man's enemies because they prevent a person from receiving the delight and pleasure. Therefore, one should believe that the fact that one has been rewarded with faith in the Creator comes from the Creator. By this, he is rewarded with the voice of the Creator, subduing the enemies, meaning that the will to receive surrenders, and in its stead comes the desire to bestow. And now he wants to work for the sake of the Creator. This comes from the voice of the Creator. As it is written, the voice of the Lord is powerful. We should interpret that the voice of the Lord gives power to man to subdue the enemies. This is the meaning of what is written, give strength to God, The Radak interprets, give strength with words. Give him the strength, since his strength has done your vengeance against the enemies, and not by your own force. We should interpret his words with words, meaning they said that all the strength of the force, the Creator alone did it. That is the fact that you see that your enemies, meaning the will to receive, has surrendered before you. It is not man's force, but only the force of the Creator. This is the Radak. This is, as the Radak says, his strength has done your vengeance against the enemies, and not by your own force. This is the meaning of what is written over Israel. His pride and his strength is in the skies. As the Radak says, the pride and greatness of the Creator is seen and apparent over Israel, since he fights the enemies for them with pride and strength. It is as the Zohar says, when the Creator wished to pick out the lily from among them, the thorns dried out and were regarded as nothing. That is, he did this by the might of the Creator, meaning surrendered all the enemies. In other words, the fact that the will to receive surrendered, and now the desire to bestow governs the person, this is, over Israel, his pride. In other words, the pride and greatness of the Creator is seen and apparent over Israel, meaning that the desire to bestow controls, and this does not come by man's power, but by the power of the Creator. This means that it is apparent that it came from the Creator, that in that His help comes by being rewarded with greater light each time. That is, help, says the Zohar, is as a new soul. Thus, now it is evident that it came from the Creator. We should interpret the reason that a person cannot achieve the vessels of bestowal by himself. The answer is that if a person could achieve vessels of bestowal by himself, he would be content with little and would feel himself as a complete human being. He would remain in his katnut, smallness, since he would have no need to go forward, because he really is doing everything for the sake of the Creator. There is a rule that there is no light without a kli, meaning a need. But when a person himself cannot obtain vessels of bestowal and must seek the Creator to help him, the person needs his help. By this he receives from the Creator new help each time, and all her help is part of his soul. By this he is rewarded with receiving the Naran Chai in the root of his soul. A person must be cautious to take upon himself the burden of kingdom of heaven unconditionally. This is called unconditional surrender. That is, one need not say, if the Creator gives me a good taste in Torah and prayer, I will be able to do the holy work. Otherwise, I cannot be a servant of the Creator. This is as it is written in the Zohar, and we learned that this is the meaning of the verse, lift up a song for him who rides through the prairies, which are netzach and hod, which are thighs. They do not bear fruit. This is like all the willows in the palm branch. It is known that the willows in the lulav imply that the work should be done in the manner of willows, although the willows have neither taste nor smell, as Baal Sulam said of what is written in Rosh Hashanah, to entertain you with the willows of the brook. That is, even if he feels no flavor in the work, and it is like the willows of the book, devoid of taste or smell during the work, they should be to man as great entertainments. This is called unconditional surrender. And this is the meaning of what it is written, rejoice before him, meaning be happy as though they have great attainments. This is the meaning of entertainment before the Creator, and thus we should believe.
Questions? Well, we'll start on the right.
He writes that everyone has bad according to the quality of good that he has. What does that mean exactly?
It means that there cannot be no bad unless it's according to the good that a person has attained earlier, and therefore now he's given the burdening of the heart now. Otherwise, how will he be able to overcome? He needs to have the foundation of the good upon which he'll be able to overcome the bad. You don't just fail a person for no reason. We want him to advance. No one receives some force of disturbance where it truly bothers him and throws him from his state, but rather only so that he will rise another degree, another degree. It's always left, right, left, right. Nessie?
Why does a person give half a shekel, then it needs to be filled to a shekel?
Half is given by the Creator.
So why is the half a shekel not wholeness?
No, but the fact that I'm getting the burdening of the heart now, which is given to me by the Creator, now I have to give my exertion. That's how it is. Well,
so what's have to do with my added effort and to the half a shekel? The half a shekel is my effort.
And half the Creator.
And that he gives bestowal? The disturbance?
By giving you a disturbance, and then I give my effort and prayer, and he gives me the force of bestowal. The Creator gives the force of bad, and the Creator gives the force of good. Only in the middle, I have to give the prayer. And my prayer, my participation is called the half.
So the work never ends.
It ends. They say that there's some kind of end of correction. And if it doesn't end, are you suffering from it?
No.
On the contrary, if the work is the reward, then may it not ever end. See, there's an excuse for anything.
That's what I was trying to say, that there's possible to always work.
Yes. When a person agrees to Ein Sof, to eternal exertion, he all of a sudden sees that it ends. He's sorry. And from that sorrow, the end of correction comes. That's the kli for completion. Okay, yes?
What is that good that a person has that it gets filled up?
The good that he received from the Creator, the force of bestowal upon his previous prayers, his previous exertions.
He says it's according to one's good, you also reveal the evil inclination. Does that have to do with the reforming light?
You can philosophize whatever you want. I'm going according to what is written. The more a person attains good, now bad could be added to him so that he'll be able to overcome and come to greater good.
But in truth, what is this good?
The force of bestowal, the force of resistance to the bad, to his ego, the force of persistence, as he acquires this relative to the group, to the order of the environment. Yes, Gershon.
Rabash depicts two situations where there's just a regular lily, and it doesn't get any pricks or disturbances, and doesn't need a prayer.
Because he's not advancing, he's not the Lord of his work.
And he writes that it's not Lo Lishma.
Yes, it's in Lo Lishma.
And then there's the lily among the thorns, because it gets the pricks because, and the question is because it wants to bestow. It doesn't want to bestow.
Yes.
So how can one get pain because they are not bestowing?
The will to bestow doesn't feel pain in that. There's none yet. If there's no desire to bestow, even the smallest that a person received from above, then he has nowhere to feel suffering from a lack of desire to bestow.
So that's work that's already in bestowal that he's talking about? That
the lily amongst the thorns is already the work in bestow, in order to bestow.
Trying to understand where this change happens, where you can start to feel some kind of attitude toward the bestowal. Where can you feel an attitude for bestowal where?
When he's willing to be amongst the thorns.
But thorns, they're pricks, it's pain and all of these.
Yes, let there be pricks and stabs as long as I can be in the work.
Pricks aren't missing, but
no, it's not the stabs like you see. It's written here. It's the stabs from in your ego and from what you don't want.
So how within the ego can you feel the pricks?
Only egoistic stabs you can feel inside your ego, that I don't have what I want.
So how can I within the ego feel the pricks that I'm not able to bestow?
I told you this a minute ago, you can hear it again later, that a person can receive a small desire to bestow in which he can feel sufferings that he doesn't have the desire to bestow.
Where does he get that desire?
Of course, from above.
It's a result of something. Where does that come from? What does it come from?
It comes from above. How does it come? It comes from above. You don't understand from where, but it comes, and a person starts to feel that he has sufferings from not having connection, from not having the love of the others, from not being able, not wanting to connect, to participate in connection.
It's a process that's built within a person?
A process. Yes, it's a process. You're asking us if you've never heard of this before. More.
Ronen
from Ashdod is asking, when they say that a rule is that he cannot get evil because that means that the Creator is doing bad. So what does it mean where the Creator is whole? What does it mean by in the open? Does that mean that it can get from the Creator?
Not revealed. We receive all the time. The guidance we receive constantly, which of course comes from the Creator, we just don't identify it. We receive all the time. It's written that a person doesn't move a finger below if an angel doesn't aim him to do so from above. An angel is called the force of the Creator that operates on a person. Yes?
He writes, and soon a person needs to walk by force and not with quarrels. What does that mean? Because anyway, a person needs to overcome through prayer.
Okay, that's also considered in force for obligating the Creator.
To overcome it by force means to overcome in order to receive?
Yes.
But I need to raise a prayer and I'm not able to.
So do it that way. What's the problem?
Does that mean by force?
If you have no forces, what other force you have to correct the evil inclination? Just turn to it and overcome.
That was clear from the start.
If it's clear, why aren't you addressing him? Why you come to this point where you're standing like that, like a baby and crying? All our work is in turning to him. There's no more than that. And look how difficult it is.
Yeah, it really is.
All our work is to sort ourselves, to get along, to be together, to do all kinds of actions, do secrets, workshops, all those things. Why? In order to eventually come back to that prayer. We don't attain spirituality. We don't receive anything. We don't operate in anything. Simply only from above. So why possible, impossible? What do we need this for? Because without this, I won't turn to it.
So the best time is Passover, because in Passover we can come with a shared prayer.
Pesach is the closest time for us in the corrections. There are no closer holidays to beginners than Pesach.
Thank
The
you.
transition from corporeality to spirituality.
We're coming into Passover, and from experience received from being with in general people, there's some kind of cloud.
Why do I need to be a cloud and in cooperation with others? What's happening on the outside?
I know that during Passover,
What do we need that for? Why are you reminding that to us?
in order to prepare.
Disconnect, and that's it.
What does that mean?
Disconnect where the collective does not have any effect on me, and I have no effect on it. But that's where I'm in the society, and in the society I want to reach the revelation, coming out of exile to redemption. That's it. What do I care about the collective? It's really not. It shouldn't concern me. I sat just now. I wrote for 2-3 hours of tweeters and stuff like that. That's it. I rid myself of it. That's it. No, I'm not with the collective. There, I was thinking, how do I nevertheless pass on some message? And also, as far as I'm concerned, outwards, never from the outwards inwards. No, it's not worthwhile to think of that. It's not worth it to have them in your head or in your feelings. There's none. We are unique individuals in the world. We're like on a spaceship. That's it.
So let's forget about that general. But we're sitting now, we're going to sit many hours, and we're going to study, and we're going to be together. And we start to feel a heaviness, some kind of cloud. I don't even know why, and I don't care about why. But how can we accept it?
How do we accept that burdening? We just read a whole article. We have a reader, Gilad Shadman, who read the article. Probably he just read from his mouth outwards, but not from his heart inwards. You read right now that what a person has good, you can add bad to it. And therefore, of course, it'll be disclosed to him that it's bad. Well, so what? Moreover, we'll respect the bad like we do the good, because we also need the left foot to step on in order to rise to the right. And that's how the degrees are. Okay?
Yes, but what do we do?
We will hold you. Don't be worried. We're going together. There's no problem. When you go together, you can rise all together in a non-stop fashion. Because each are in ascents, descents, in the middle between them, and they are all together, all in the general integral are ascending. That's it. There's no problem. Yes.
Now, you just said to Gilad that we don't bring anything from outside. We bring the deficiency from outside. When we go to do dissemination, we bring something.
Forget about that. Forget about that for now. That's it. What deficiency do I have towards the outside? When they have a deficiency, we talked about this in the morning, it seems to me, today. They have a deficiency of food, sex, family, money, honor, knowledge, a corporeal, beastly deficiency. That's okay. The whole world is engaged in that, and towards those things, those 6 desires, the basic ones, the whole world has ascents and descents. Food, sex, family, money, honor, knowledge. Now, we have a different desire, which is a lack for adhesion between us, and through that, to adhesion in the Creator. That's it. That's the general lack that we have. Now, towards that lack, we have to see ourselves, whether we're successful or not. And we don't care about food, sex, family, money, knowledge, and honor. We check your spirituality according to how much chicken you ate in the last meal? No. I noticed how much you ate. According to that, it seems to me like you're in a big descent. It's clear that it's not towards that we can say. That's why I'm telling you. How should I say this? All the bodily values, which is food, sex, family. Bodily, where they're also in animals. That's the animal body demands that. Next, money, honor, knowledge. Those are the human ones. That we don't care about. Where in them we are. How we are mainly on the path towards adhesion between us and towards the Creator, and as many as those discernments spin, whatever will be, will be. If you're directed to the Creator, let them cascade. You'll have problems with them. You'll have burnings of the heart and all kinds of things. The Creator knows to do great exercises with a person. But in order for us to more and more and more direct towards Him. That's it.
Can I have another question, please?
That's also called love will cover all transgressions. He's bringing you transgressions, difficulties, so that you will overcome it with love.
What does this mean, prayer?
Prayer is called the disclosure of the deficiency.
What does it mean having a prayer to none else besides Him? In attention, with some words.
Depict that there is no other force in the world at all, even in me, not to me, even what I'm thinking now, what I'm feeling now, meaning with my mind and my heart. That too, He's putting inside of me. He's putting it in me. And what to do? What remains for me is this expert point in which I'm scrutinizing things. Only from that point, which is called the point in the heart, the middle point of Tiferet, to there I want to connect all the rest to Him. That's it.
Where do I place here friends?
The friends are the kli through which you turn to the Creator. Very simply. Just like I don't have an eye to see something, I need a sense called an eye. I don't have an ear to hear. I need some sense called hearing. How do I sort my attitudes towards relations towards the Creator? I need a sense called connection. 10 sfirot. It I attain through connection in the group.
And if I don't feel what is the 10 sfirot?
10 friends. 10 friends. You have nothing else to approach Him with. Do you understand? There's a sound, but you don't hear it. There's some form, you don't see it. There's some scent, you don't smell it. You have 5 spiritual senses that you need to establish inside of you. The 5 senses towards them. You have 5 phenomena, spiritual phenomena, Namchai. You don't have a kli to feel them. Hence, you don't feel the spiritual world. You're here. Here. And I don't have kilim. I don't have the vessels for it. We need to develop those vessels. Please, you have a group. There's no chance without it. There is no chance. Yes, Dudi.
What can we take out of this week of Passover?
Whatever you want, that's what you'll get out. I think that we have come to a state in which certainly there's plenty to take out of it. There's much to do. There's much to attain. Only we need a bit more to be in efforts in the right direction. The effort is really not the problem. The problem is for it to be the correct one. It could be that you need to put forth exertions of 10 grams and you're operating 10 kilos. But the problem is that you need to give the 10 grams exertion in the right place.
Ken.
Yes.
А правильное место для этих 10 грамм, оно всегда одно в объединении? Или есть какие-то здесь детали еще?
The right place for that 10 grams is from correction, or is there another details?
Of course, there are details, but they're always in connection. From here, meaning from the prayer for the journey until the end of the journey, it's only the path. It's the prayer for the correction of the kli, the shattered kli of Adam Rishon, and there are no other actions. Very simply. It's so simple that there's nothing else to do already. We must connect people to one desire. Altogether, the whole of the wisdom of Kabbalah, the whole correction of the world, all of reality, the problems and sufferings that humanity suffers, all is just correction and connection. Bel Rachamim.
Why is the letter Mem in Passover is flipped by the letter Hey, and that
I
don't know what connection you have to Pesach in this. I have no idea in this.
No, the Holy Zol says that the whole of humanity, that all the people are one people, and I am that person. And that person is me. If that person is me, then who are others?
They're also in you. The fact that you're imagining to yourself the whole world.
Are others not the Creator?
I told you. What we need to correct is the connection between people which appear, all those qualities of a person appear on the outside as foreign. Why? In order to develop the sense of bestowal.
Okay, thank you.
That's it? Okay, yes, well, one, then the other.
А можно прояснить вот этот утренний вопрос про злословие?
Can we scrutinize the question from this morning about the bad tongue, Lashon Hara?
Slander. What was there about slander in the morning? Oh, about the 4 questions, these difficulties.
Said that we have to grow the connection.
То есть нам против этих вопросов надо наращивать.
And it somehow needs to be one against the other, because who and what is a term.
Независимо от того, что просыпаются эти вопросы, или нам как-то пробудить эти вопросы. Против чего-то надо... То есть ты понимаешь, что раньше это было не объединение, все равно ты задавал вопросы. Тогда надо опять приподниматься и сверху. То есть как действовать в таких словах, когда ты вдруг понимаешь, что ты злословил, все время и думал, и мысли, и желания были злословия.
The question is, we need to grow a connection against something, and then you can see that everything that you've done and thought has all been slander, and you need to rise above it. So what do?
We don't relate to the moment that has passed. What was, and I need to associate all those things to the Creator. Everything. Because there's none else besides Him. I'm thinking only of what I need to do now in the current state. Only. That's the answer. I don't care what happened, who was right, who wasn't right. The Creator's to blame. In everything. I just need to know one thing. At any given moment, He is giving me new conditions. They shall be in your eyes as new. As I need every moment to think, to examine, what do I need to do now in order to add in connection. That's it. Yes.
Против чего проверять? Против чего это проверка? Ну, мы же говорим, что проверять надо против вопросов «кто и что». И выяснили, что это злословие.
But that test is against what? We scrutinize that needs to be in the question of who and what.
Against the questions, against the conditions that I feel now, and not that were there a moment ago. Whatever has to do with the past, I am not allowed to blame anyone. It's all the Creator playing with me that way. And also now He's playing with me. But towards what is happening now, the way He stabilizes for me now, my world, me and my world, that I need to arrange. I need to fix.
Не очень понятно. Ну, я не могу понять.
Think about it for a couple of days, and then we'll talk. I have nothing to add. We talked about this, I don't know, dozens of hours. Yes.
Такой вопрос. Игорь задал его правильно очень. Вот как достать внутрь...
What's with his microphone? He's talking okay.
Внутреннюю суть вот этой...
What, he talks like that?
Внутреннюю суть, которая называется объединение, как ее выудить, и с вашей стороны где-то какую-то подсказку. В общем, оно понятно, но...
That inner purpose that is called connection. How do we grow it? Can you give us some direction how we can do it?
Only from my relations and attitudes towards the friends, where I'm digging in them, where I'm scrutinizing them, where I'm trying to somehow spin them in all kinds of directions in order to stabilize them as much as possible towards the unified connection, where I'm below them all and I'm above them all, and we are all equal, and where we're all thinking only about connection, and in the homogeneous, equal connection from all manners, we want to discover the Creator. Then we reveal Him. That is the calibration of our connection. That's it. And there's nothing else to think about but about this.
Как это просочетать в том материальном раскладе, который на сегодня имеет место здесь и во всем кли мировом?
Right, for right now, today, for the whole world kli, what's the correct way to implement this?
I said, you want me to repeat that sentence again? Do it, and that's it. What is it in the whole kli? I don't understand you. Where are you being confused here? I need to operate such that all the people that are in that inclination towards the Creator, for them to understand that this inclination must be realized through the connection between everyone, between us. And then I come to a state in which I operate constantly in the group in order to assist this connection between us in a unified manner. The moment we unite between us equally, or in as much as we are capable of uniting equally, we invite by that the reforming light. It presses us. And that's how we will advance. You forget the main thing and go to all kinds of other directions. I understand that that's how the evil inclination is operating, but there's no action or other method. And one who holds on to this method advances, and then in this way from millions we come to thousands, from thousands to hundreds, and from hundreds to a few tens, and they're the ones who enter spirituality. That's how it is. Why? Because they don't want to hold on to that principle of connection. That's what we need to do. That's the kli in which we reveal the Creator, is connection between us. Where on one hand, it needs to be very varied, diversified, and on the other hand, we're all equal. Yes.
What is the Vav returns in the Hey?
Vav returning towards Hey. What do you care?
A lot of times I asked, what's the answer?
The force of bestowal, which is called Vav, comes closer and unites with the quality of reception called Hey. That's it. More than that, I don't want to talk about it. It's just like that. That's like for the learned.
Before you talked about to forget about outside, to forget about what there was in the past, and to focus on connection.
Yes?
See, recently, well, in the periods when we were focused on dissemination, my force of connection was stronger.
Okay, so you took some lacks from them. It gave you a certain drive. It's fine, but that's only an external stimulus.
Where's the place for dissemination today?
Also, we receive deficiencies from there. Of course, it awakens us. But I wouldn't put it as it being that same force that will take us to spirituality. It'll heat us up along the way. We need to advance in the connection between us because we want to give the Creator a place to be revealed in order to bring Him contentment by that. That's what we need to pray for us to have such a lack. Okay? They don't have someone there? No? I don't know. They had some responsible person there. Coleman's there, so we need to have someone there. Maybe there's questions there, nevertheless. Okay, we need to care for these things. Until the end of the week, we need to make sure that there will be there someone who's responsible for the women. What's he called? Not Coleman. With the king. The minister of the women. Okay. Okay. So that's it. What else do we have? Oh, we still have Pesach. What? Zohar, yes. Zohar 309.
We're opening the vision of Egypt. From Shemot, Exodus, the vision of Egypt, item 89. The vision of Egypt. Behold, the Lord is riding on a swift cloud and is about to come to Egypt. All the kings in the world and all the peoples in the world are completely insignificant before the Creator. In Egypt, despite all the gvurot and the high hand that the Creator revealed in Egypt, it is written, Behold, the Lord is riding on a swift cloud and is about to come to Egypt. What is the difference that in all the peoples in the world it was not so, but the Creator decided on a sentence, and it was done. And in Egypt He Himself came to execute judgments. 90. It is because the king came to bring out the queen who was there. He came in honor of the queen, divinity, who was down in exile with him. And because the Creator wished to honor her, He came to her to raise her, to give her a hand and to strengthen her up, as the Creator is destined to do at the end of the exile in Edom. 91. Thus it was for the queen that the Creator came to Egypt. But the Creator was in the exile in Babylon. Why was it not so? It was because of the sin, for they had taken foreign women and admitted the Holy Covenant into another authority. This is why they lost the miracles and signs that were meant to be done for them. But this was not so in Egypt, for they were all the tribes of the Creator. The children of Israel came into the exile, and the children of exile went out of the exile without a sin. 92. In the exile in Edom, the Creator wished to be honored in the world, and to come by Himself to raise the queen and shake off her dust. Woe unto one who will be there before Him, when He says, Shake yourself from the dust, arise and sit. O Jerusalem, loosen yourself from the chains around your neck. Who is the king and nation that will stand up against him? 93. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at His presence. The idols of Egypt is not said about the rocks and trees from which they made the idols, but about all those degrees of high appointees and about the worship of the lower ones of them. They were the ones who moved and were punished. And wherever Israel exiled, the Creator sought them, and they were received from those peoples. 94. It is written, For thus says the Lord God, My people went down aforetime into Egypt, to sojourn there, and the Assyrian oppressed them without cause. This is God's complaint that angered Him against Assyria, and He said, See what Assyria has done to me, Egypt, in whom I executed all those dinim, and my people went down to dwell among them. The Egyptians received them among them and gave them the best land, the land of Goshen. And although they were afflicted in exile, they did not remove the land from them. For it is written only in the land of Goshen. And this was the best land in Egypt, as it is written, in the best of the land of Ramses, which was in Goshen. And not only did they not deny them anything, as it is written, the cattle of the children of Israel, which means that they did not rob them of their cattle, and yet they were sentenced by several dinim. 95. But the Assyrian oppressed them without cause. They threw them to the land at the end of the world and robbed them of their land. And if the Egyptians, who did all those favors for Israel, were sentenced by all these dinim, their Creator's wish to glorify His name over Assyria and Edom and the rest of the nations that oppress them and kill them and take their money will be several times stronger. It is written about that, "Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will make myself known." There in Egypt it was with one king, but here in the future, complete redemption, it will be in all the kings in the world.
ויקם מלך חדש, 157. בכל יום עושה הקדוש ברוך הוא מלאכים שליחים לעולם, כמו שכתוב, עושה מלאכיו רוחות. עשה לא
And a new king arose. Item 157. Every day the Creator makes angels messengers to the world. As it is written, He makes the winds His messengers. It does not say made, but makes, in present tense, since He makes every single day. At that time, an angel was appointed over Egypt. As it is written, and a new king arose over Egypt. Item 158. Who did not know Joseph, since the appointee was from a place of separation? As it is written, and from there it departed, and became 4 heads. The first of that separation was the river of Egypt. As it is written, the name of the first is Pishon, which is the river of Egypt. And this is why he did not know Joseph, for he was the place where all the unity resides, which is called righteous. Joseph is zzsolt, called righteous, and all the unifications of Serampin and Nukva are done with him. And the separation did not wish to know the unification. And he knew, and there went a man of the house of Levi. 180. And there went a man of the house of Levi. This is Gabriel. As it is written, the man Gabriel of the house Levi means the assembly of Israel, Malchut, which comes from the left line, since Gabriel is from the left. 181. When the goof of a righteous is born in this world, the Creator calls upon Gabriel, who takes that neshama that is the garden, Malchut, and brings it down to the goof of the righteous who is born in this world. And Gabriel is appointed over it and guards it. 182. But the name of the angel appointed over the spirits of the righteous is Night. And you are saying it is Gabriel. Of course his name is right, since it is night, because he comes from the left side, and anyone who comes from the left side is called Night. But in fact, his name is Gabriel.
183. And this man went, called Amram. He took the daughter of Levi, who is Yocheved, and the voice came down and said to Amram to couple with her, for the time for redemption of Israel will come from the son that will be got from them. 184. And the Creator helped him for the divinity to dwell on their bed, and their intention in adhesion together was in divinity. Hence, the divinity was not removed from that son that they birthed, and the writing came to be, you were blessed from that sanctity, where a man who sanctifies from below upwards is sanctified from above by the Creator. As their intention was in the adhesion to the Shekhinah, so was the adherence of the Shekhinah in the deed that they did. 185. Blessed are the righteous, whose adhesion is in the Creator always, and just as they adhere to Him always, such as His adherence to them. He never leaves them. Woe unto the wicked whose will and adhesion are remote from the Creator. It is not enough that they draw far from Him, they even cling to the side of impurity. Amram, who adhered to the Creator, Moses came out of him, for the Creator never moved away from him, and divinity always adhered to him. Happy is he. 186. And the woman conceived and bore a son, and saw he was good, meaning born circumcised, because the covenant is called good, as it is written, say that a righteous is good, and righteous is the covenant. 187. She saw the light of divinity that shone in him. When he was born, the whole house was filled with light, as it is written, and she saw that he was good. And it is also written, and God saw the light, that it was good. As that good relates to light, the good here relates to the light. And it is written about that he was good. And he was everything in him, the light of divinity, and that he was born circumcised.
Are there any questions?
No.
Vitaly
from San Francisco is asking, what to demand first, bestowal or connection? What's more important, bestowal or connection? What should we long for more?
What to yearn for bestowal or connection? Connection is the vessel, and connection is the action. We cannot bestow only in that we connect. The action of bestowal is an act of bestowal. We have no one to bestow for. We have nothing to bestow. Only through the connection between us are we doing an act of bestowal. Is that understandable? It was a good question. Every act of action, every act of bestowal is by how much we connect. Okay? Is it not understandable? No? So I'm asking for you to remember one thing. Like a mother asks from her children, do me a favor, don't fight. Connect and be good children. Through their connection, they're bringing her bestowal. Can you remember that? So in their action of other action of bestowal is through connection.
Balasulam, the love of the created beings and the love of the Creator. This is as Hillel said that love thy friend as thyself is the last goal of our deeds, because it's the character and the more clear form to a person, and one cannot err in the deeds that are sorted before him. And he knows that if he precedes the needs of his friends to his own, then he's in a measure of bestowal. Accordingly, if he doesn't grow the goal, love thy Lord, thy God, in all your heart, and all your soul, and all your might, because in truth they're the same. Because also his friend he needs to love with all his heart, and all his soul, and all his essence. And it is respect as yourself. And he has to do so in his heart, and his might, and in his mind. And he needs to do this in his friend. It's always spread before him, before his eyes.
Okay. Yeah.
What does it mean that in Pesach each has to be caring for his kosherness, for his purity?
In Passover especially, everyone needs to take great care of his kosherness, because it's keeping, as in keeping from the chametz. Because the chametz is considered an evil inclination in a clear corporeal way. And we need to scrutinize it in every way, so that it won't be left in any desire, even in the smallest amount in order to receive.
Meaning to constantly disconnect. Egoistic thoughts come to constantly disconnect from the ego? Is that the intention?
Yes, to disconnect from the desire in order to receive for himself, to direct everything towards the connection of the group.
And everything we do symbolizes for us that constant disconnect from that intention. To do it.
I didn't understand.
How to do it. I'm looking how to come to the goal, how to...
We need to always take care. How can we connect? That's it. Not to measure how we can do this or that with pluses or minuses. How can we connect? We need to think about that. not to think about what's good, think always about what's connection. Not what's more about where we have more disconnection, but more connection. If we need to look for where the chametz is, then we're not looking. Then we're not actually going to look for the chametz. We're not actually looking for it. We need to look according to the light of the candle. When we intend for good, then we will find the bad. And when we look for the evil, then we'll never find it because you'll always think everything is good. Is that clear? Good. There are no more questions. Okay, so read.
188, we're continuing in Shmot in the Pesach. She hid him for 3 months. She hid him for 3 months implies that Moses' merit was not recognized in the upper radiance for 3 months. Since then, the Torah was given through him, and divinity became revealed and present before everyone's eyes, as it is written, and Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him, and she could no longer hide him. Since until that moment, his speaking to the Creator was not known. Then it is written, Moses spoke, and God answered him by a voice. 189. She took for him an ark of bulrushes, implies to the ark where the tables of the covenant were placed, the ark of the bulrushes in the ark of the covenant, and covered it over with clay and tar. Since the ark was covered from within, from without, this is the Torah which is covered with positive mitzvot and negative mitzvot. 190. And she put the child therein in his Israel. As it is written, when Israel was a child, then I loved him and put it in the reeds. There was no obligations to carry out the mitzvot of Torah in the end, until the end, when Israel came to the land at the end of the 40 years. By the bank of the Nile means by the words of those who teach law and statutes to Israel, since the bank is like language and speech, and Nile comes from the word teaching. 191. And there went a man, which is the Creator, who it is written about, a man of war of the house of Levi is the Creator, who went from the place where Upper Chochmah, meaning Upper Abba, and that river which is Upper Ima, unite and never part. He went from the place of Yesod of Upper Abba Ima, from the house of Levi, from the word of Leviathan, Yesod. He placed the Leviathan for joy in the world, which is divinity, as it is written, there is a Leviathan which you have formed to sport in. And took a daughter of Levi as the Creator, the place where the light of the moon, which is divinity, shines. 192. And the woman conceived, meaning divinity, as it is written, this shall be called woman. And this is the name of divinity. In the beginning was the daughter of the house of Levi, which is Yesod of Abba Ve'ima, called Leviathan. This is certainly so because Abba Ve'ima built the Nukva. Accordingly, he asked, was the first a daughter of Levi and now a woman? Certainly, before a woman is married, she is called the daughter of so-and-so, after her father and mother. After she is married, a woman is named after herself. Daughter, woman, and bride are all one degree, divinity. 193. She hid him 3 months. These are 3 months with harsh din in the world, Tammuz, Av, and Tevet, when there is no disclosure of divinity in them because of the dinim in the world. Before Moses came down to the world, he was above with divinity. This is why divinity bonded with him since the day he was born. Hence the spirits of the righteous are above in the Garden of Eden before they come down to the world. 194. What is took for him an ark of bulrushes? It means that she covered it in signs to keep it from the fish of the sea that swim in the great sea, meaning the klipot and harm doers. As it is written, therein are creeping things innumerable. She covered him so he would be kept from them by a valued coating of two colors, white and black. White is clay, right, and the tar is black, left, mingled with malchut of the quality of din, at which time the red in it becomes black. And she placed Moses in the middle line between them, so he will be known with them as the dot, middle line, since he was destined to rise between them to another time to receive the Torah. 195. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down. The daughter of Pharaoh comes from the left side of the harsh din. It has written to bathe in the Nile. And so it is precisely the Nile and not the sea, since the sea implies Malchut of holiness. But the Nile is the harsh din from the left side, which the Egyptians had made into their idolatry. And since the daughter of Pharaoh has bathed there, she too is from that harsh din. 196. It is written, your staff which you struck the Nile with. But did Moses not strike only the sea? And the text calls it Nile too. Indeed, the Nile is what Aaron struck through Moses, and compare the writing as he himself did. 197. As it is written, 7 days passed after the Lord struck the Nile, although Aaron was the one who struck it. However, because it came from the Creator, the writing calls it after the Lord had struck. Afterwards, it names it after Moses, because Aaron acted by his word. With her maidens walking alongside the Nile are the rest of the camps that come from that side of the Nile. 198. She opened it and saw the child. It writes saw, with hey and vav, when it should have been only said saw, without both. However, there is nothing in the Torah that does not contain sublime and precious secrets. The Reshimo of the king and the queen, Tiferet and Malchut, meaning vav and hey, was in him. This is why it is said saw, with the added hey and vav, and as soon as she saw it, she had pity on him. Thus far, the writing speaks of high in the upper worlds. Henceforth, it speaks of below, except in these words.
Okay, good. Any questions? There's no more? Yes.
Can I ask a question on the eve of the holiday?
Yes, you can.
That's coming to us for good. All our families are joining us today. Today I'm also very excited because my children and my in-laws, and they're all coming also to the holiday meal.
Yes.
I would like to ask you, how do we receive them? How will we be with them such that we will warm their hearts up, for them to feel that we're supporting them, that we love them?
We need to, throughout the night, the evening, to talk in a clear way, not in a short with hints. There's no need. We can read here the Agadah and explain it. We need to, and there we need to do it for the children and for the guests in a simple and nice way. And how can we do it? I don't know exactly. I have some doubts that I'm able to. Think about it. So there'll be a lot of songs. Not to force them to eat more bitterness than they're used to.
Horseradish.
The horseradish, it's something, right? Yeah. And not to be proud in how much horseradish you're eating. It's clear that there is nothing here to be proud of. That's not what we need to overcome. Okay? Now, songs and a nice attitude and festivities symbolizing the Exodus, and to honor them And the children said it'll be pleasant. That's first of all, that's most important. What they hear, and what they don't hear, they don't hear. The most important thing is that they take part. And they'll be light and easy. Okay, what else?
No, עוד רוצה משהו לשאול.
לא, אני רק...
You want to ask something else?
I'm just very excited towards this holiday eve. It really is moving me, and I hope that
Think that it'll be good for them. You brought them there. Take care of them. That's it. Don't even think about friends. Nothing. Rabash, I feel sorry for him because he had to do the Pesach, the Passover, for maybe 80 or 100 people. It was a great confusion, and he suffered from it a lot. The day after ate at his place. He invited me. We sat together. We ate. His grandchild would serve us. He told me how he had to do it. What can he do? That's the corporeality. It's the leaving of Egypt. It's the story. The questions ask, oh, what has changed this night? And you have to go through it, and other than letting a few grandchildren ask, and there were maybe 100 grandchildren. I don't even know if he knew all of their names. It's clear. And the next day, he was really worn out. He was continuing until 1 a.m., and at that time he was used to be sleeping. That's it. And I'm trying to tell you, take care of them, so that they will leave with a great reward. You understand? It's as if they reached the Exodus. They've reached the redemption. You understand? Any more questions? Yes.
I wanted to ask, following this lesson and the holiday, in the first hour of the lesson, we heard you maybe 4 or 5 times telling us in answers to the questions of the friends. We're talking about this already dozens of times, or something like, I'm saying it, you're not hearing. I don't know. I don't remember the exact words, but I wanted to ask, is there something that we need to pay attention to, especially during this holiday, so that we don't miss this opportunity again?
Yes. Connection.
There's
no more. It's the word. It's a special word. It's the end of all of the correction and of the Adam HaRishon. It's what the Creator's expecting. That's it.
Adon Cohen.
Yes, Mr. Cohen.
I think
in English.
Some of us can't be together with the friends this evening, and
no. אז מה, לא יכול להיות, זה לא... לא נורא.
So what? It's not bad.
That I don't get to be with the friends, but still feel connected to the friends while sitting at this empty table, and...
אל תתייחס לחיצוניות.
Don't relate to what's outside, externality. You in heart and soul are with us. It's Friday. Some maybe 37 years.
יום שישי כמו שהיום.
Friday, like today, we were with Bash at a doctor in Bellinson hospital here, and he said right away to go and get a treatment. And on Sunday, the holiday of Shavuot, everyone's coming, and all of the Hasidim, all of his students. The doctor says, no. The doctor was from Georgia, and he said in Russian quietly, he told me quietly in Russian, he has to go into the treatment right away. It said it could be cancer. Afterwards, it wasn't cancer, but at the time he was a lot of doubts, and he consulted with many people, and he really did a lot of work quietly to make sure of this. And we were 30 days in the hospital. And the doctor said, the Rabash went in. There were no doubts there. He gave the doctor the right to heal. First the doctor and then the Creator. And it's not that he didn't care. He wasn't there during the holiday, but they took care of it without him. That's the way it is. There are some things that we have to do them in different ways. Nothing happens. You're not losing from it. Even more, the Creator sets up for you, on purpose, the exile so that you'll feel a bit of exile. Good. And they feel that they're in redemption. And that's why He gives the feeling of greatness. Okay. Who else do I need to comfort?
After
him, I'm even sorry that I'm doing this holiday Eve with my family. I should have actually done it here and given up that whole idea.
No. It's good for us and good for them. Or bad for them. It's good for us and bad for them.
That's simply my feeling. You're saying things that are right, but...
It's very good. Okay, onwards. That's it? Yes.
About holding on the great from the friend, the small from the friends, and equal to the friend, and specifically in that homogeneous way we draw the light.
What can I do if the Creator gave me these friends? I didn't choose them. I just need to accept them because He gave me them. And it seems to be that they have the qualities that I need to connect to me and the Malchut of the Teta Rishonot, that they're greater than me, they're more prestigious than me. I need to bow before them, to receive them, and reach the corrected kli with them.
And how would that be greater than them?
I'm greater than them in that I'm dependent on them, and in that way I invest myself in them. That means greater. That great. And that great that I'm going to serve them, that without me, that they too will not be able to reach anything.
Meaning what? Their perfection depends on me?
Their wholeness depends on me, as my wholeness depends on them. Just as the Creator is dependent on me on this.
And what is the equivalence?
Equality, it means that we're working in a round way, in a group, and we need to make sure that it's equal.
The perfection of the Creator depends on me?
Of course, if I don't reveal Him, how else will He be revealed? What does it mean to bring Him contentment? That His perfection depends on me.
Another question about what Rabash writes in the article, that a person needs to overcome in prayer. So the overcoming in prayer, is there a part in it that I need to do some kind of action? And there's a part that the Creator needs to do? Meaning, where's the part in the overcoming? Is there also there some kind of division between I and the Creator? Or because it's like a person's thinking, wait, a person has to give his half shekel, so I have to first effort in connection. So if I need to effort in connection, then maybe if I'm efforting, where do I put the Creator in? Do you understand my confusion?
You can do it alone, and you bite on this bitterness on your own, and you might get something from it. Yes.
why does Baal Sulam write that holidays are more important than the mitzvot? That holidays are mechanics. They're the mitzvot are love of others. Yeah. Why is the holiday considered more important than a mitzvah?
Where it's written, and what is this related to? The traditions of Israel are more important, yes. Yes, the traditions of Israel are like the foundations that we need to go through in order to determine our degrees. And the mitzvot are something personal, individual. Yeah, the traditions of Israel are sanctified. Yes, okay, more? Is that it? So I can release you? Yes.
Небольшая путаница. Как можно говорить об
I have small confusion.
словами, которые по определению из желания получать. Допустим, большой это...
How can you talk about bestowal from words of the definitions that you're talking from the qualities of reception? For instance, when you say great, it's supposed to be great. From the ego, it's great.
Может быть, отдача там должна быть тоньше, там, нежнее как-то, но не больше. Получается, если она больше, она какой-то, как-то режет слух.
Maybe in bestowal it needs to be something more delicate, more pure. But when you say greater, then it's not clear to me.
Both reception and bestowal is something within the desire. And that's why we relate to the two of them in the same way. The grams, kilograms, it doesn't matter how. We're measuring it, this and that. As a desire is what is doing these actions of bestowal and reception.
What can you measure bestowal relative to?
According to the desire, that same reception that wants to receive, we measure to the bestowal and we measure the reception.
But it's a desire that was ready there, relative to the new desire.
We need to compare, so we compared in this way. What else can we do?
Все это сравнение, оно не работает. То есть, когда мы сравниваем...
I just scrutinize that whole equalization doesn't work.
I can't talk to you about things that you're not within them. And you can't talk about it. The things that are kind of empty words. We'll come and we'll see, we'll feel it, and then we'll be able to talk about it. They tasted and they saw the good of the Creator.
Today, as we were clarifying the chametz, you said that everyone has to make sure that his chametz won't burn.
Yes.
And then I heard, if I heard it correctly, you said that you don't feel like everyone kind of wants that, for the chametz to be burnt.
They haven't revealed the evil inclination in that chametz, and that my ego is the enemy. They don't feel it. I feel that through it I enjoy life. What can I do? And if I enjoy from life, then I don't want to get rid of it, to isolate myself from it. If I see that it is like cancer within me that's bringing me to death, and I'm really suffering from it every day, and I'm getting closer to death because of it, then I would stab it with a knife, really. And I would take it out of my body. Really. And what else?
And this recognition of evil happens only from the work towards connection, not in any other direction.
Towards the connection and the good that does good, that shows you how you can connect. Okay, good. Yes.
If I want to burn the chametz because it's causing me suffering, then what's the bestowal here?
Chametz is called in order to receive. It's not a desire. It's in order to receive. That you want to burn. In order to use that same desire, in order to bestow. It's called the
resurrection.
Putting away the dead.
But for me, suffering, that action.
From what?
From what you said, that the chametz is a flavor that I'd rather die than be alive. I'd rather burn it.
Why? Why? Why do you want to burn it? Who will enjoy from it if you burn it?
In my ego, I hear that I want to burn it because it's bad for me.
Yes, there could be something like that. If there was no bad, then why would you want to burn it? Fire is the final death. And nothing's left from it. Because the ash can bring to life anything. If you burn it, then that's it. It's gone from the world. So why? What's bad for you for it?
And the question is not clarified in me yet.
Good. So you don't know why it's bad. You don't know why you need to get rid of in order to receive. Why do I need to stop enjoying for myself? Because compared, I have to feel that I am stopping the enjoyment or the group from reaching the Creator. Because the group doesn't seem to me something very important that I need to always care for it more than for myself. And the Creator is even more, and I don't even feel that at all. And then to sort of burn something that I enjoy from it right now, I'm not able to. Why? Yes. You have a few more hours.
So today at 7 we're going to assemble here in the meal hall, and at 7:15 we're going to start the seder, and we'll see.
How much will you take from me, students, from me here?
We're already concluded, just all in all.
Why did you take them?
We need to complete the peeling.
So you have new people.
They're from the world leader. We don't want to take them out of the lesson.
It's more useful for the world Bnei Baruch, for everyone, if the men would sit here and study. Don't disconnect them from the studies. If you can use women, it would be more worthwhile than if they sat and studied. There's how to use the soul. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. That's the way it is. How I used it with the room of how did I call it? The broadcasting. Now women are there. That's good. If you take that as an example. Okay, so what are we doing? A song.
אז תן לנו כוח לצאת ממצרים. לפנות לשמיים, לפנות השפעה, לפתוח עיניים, לחיות בחברה כמו טיפה בכוס מים. אז תן לנו כוח לצאת ממצרים, בלב ובמוח לפנות לשמיים, לקנות השפעה, לפתוח עיניים, לחיות בחברה כמו טיפה בכוס מים. לה 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 לפתוח עיניים, לחיות בחברה
חברים